recording. So, okay. So first of all, let's talk about the speaking. As you know, speaking IELTS consists of 3 parts. You know this, and in each part you will be asked some questions related to a topic. It can be a general topic or something, for example, related to you or something else. There are some common topics that normally are asked in IELTS test. Okay, about the first part. Do you know how much time do you have to answer each questions and how many questions will be asked? Do you know?
No.
Okay, so let's do something. We're going to get familiar with 3 parts of speaking in IELTS and, of course, words and phrases that can help you to answer the questions. So first of all, let's listen to this listening. After, just pay attention how many questions actually are asked and what kind of questions, and how long does the actually candidate take to answer each question. So let me play this. Okay, just wait a moment. 8. Wow.
Track 8.
Now, in this section of the test, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself and where you live. Do you live in a house or an apartment at the moment?
Right now, I'm living in a house with 2 other students. It's a pretty big house with 2 floors, a garden, and a shared bathroom. I moved in during the summer.
Where do you live? In the city or the countryside?
Our house is in the city center, about 5 minutes walk from the train station. We're close to all of the shops and restaurants, and our school is about a 20-minute bus ride from my house. There's lots to see and do around there, so I'm pretty happy with the location.
Who else lives with you where you live?
Well, as I said, I live with 2 other students. They both go to the same school as me. One of them is from China and the other is from India. I'm from Romania, so I think we live in a pretty international house.
Is there anything you don't like about where you live?
Well, I don't like sharing my bathroom with others, and the kitchen is often very busy, but I think that's normal for a shared house. Also, we need to do the gardening regularly or things get out of control. Sometimes the trains can be a little loud as well, especially in the mornings.
Now, let's talk about shopping. Where do most people go shopping where you live?
Most people go to the City Gate shopping center, as it's the biggest and has the most shops and restaurants. There is also a cinema and ice rink, so people go there not just to shop, but to hang out with their friends as well. It has all of the famous brands, and most importantly, it's warm in the winter.
When do you usually go shopping?
I usually go at the weekends, as I'm too busy with my studies to go in the week. The only problem is that the city gate gets very full at weekends, and you have to wait a long time to get a bus back home because so many people are trying to catch the bus at the same time as you.
Why do lots of young people like to go shopping at big shopping centres?
I think it's because everything is in one place, and they're clean and comfortable, and it's safe for young people to meet. Where else can you go that has all of the shops and entertainment under one roof that the big malls have?
Would you ever do your shopping at the local market?
I'm not really sure, as the local market is more for older people who just want to go and buy some cheaper food or clothes, and the styles and brands on sale at the market are a bit old-fashioned for me personally. Maybe my parents would be fine with going to the market, but there's really nothing interesting for me there.
Well, okay, how many questions? How many questions did the examiner ask?
I think it's 9.
It's
It's 9 or something.
so it was about 8. It was 8 questions, you know, but there is a point, not only 8. So we say that speaking part 1 includes between 8 to 12 questions. So you will be asked maybe 9, maybe 10, 11, or 12. And how much time you have to answer each question, and actually the whole time for speaking part 1. So you have 4 to 5 minutes for speaking part 1. So, and about 12 questions, maybe 12, maybe less, maybe 12 questions are asked. So for each questions, you can actually have 20 seconds, maybe 15 or 20 seconds for each question. So you need to answer using 2 or 3 sentences because you have 15 to 20 seconds, not more, so that you can answer all the questions one by one. Okay, so this is about the time. And tell me, according to this audio track, tell me, what 2 topics did the examiner cover?
It's house and shopping.
Very good. Home and shopping, very good. And approximately, you know, how long did the actually candidate speak about for each
Like
question?
20 seconds.
Yeah, between 15 to 20 seconds. So this is a normal time. Okay. And tell me what kind of questions. It means yes, no questions, WH question. What kind of questions did the examiner ask?
I think it's WH questions.
Yeah, of course, WH questions and yes, no, of course. So both of them.
Yeah.
So speaking for part 1, we have some questions like this. General topics about you and your hometown, or different topics, for example, about food, about, for example, shopping, home, okay? And some of them are really common, especially hometown, home. So it's really common because you normally ask. And after that, of course, we move on part 2, that a cue card is given. Now I'm going to focus on part 1. Okay, let me ask you a few questions now. So my first question for you, okay, tell me, where is your hometown?
I think my hometown is in Vũng Tàu.
Oh,
It was about 2 hours from where I live, so I can get to there. But I basically didn't come back to my hometown for like 3 or 4 years now, because we have been so much things to do here.
yeah,
And yeah.
very good. So you're originally from, actually, it's difficult to me to pronounce, you know, the name of your hometown, so sorry. So you can say, because you don't, actually, you don't live there anymore. So you
Yeah.
can say, originally, okay, from, okay, but the tense that you use was wrong because you used past simple to talk about the period of time since past to present. So you need to use present perfect continuous. But I've been living in the city that you're living for how many years, for example, for the past few years, or for example, for 10 years, or for example, for a long time. So I've been living, okay? So here, I'm originally from, but I've been living. I have been living. Present perfect continuous is used to talk about an action that started in past continually to the present. So in a period of time since past to the present and in progress. So we still live. So I've been living. And of course, you can say that I, for example, was born and reside. I born and reside in when you live and you were born in the same place, same city, your hometown. So you can say something like this. But now, because your answer actually includes two cities that now you were born and you live, you can use this sentence. Of course, the rest word was good. And so, for example, 2 hours far from, for example, the capital of Vietnam and something like this. So you can briefly talk about it. Where it's located. It's close to, for example, capital or no. So this is about the first question. And if there is something, it's not bad to say something about, for example, your hometown or the town that you live, where you live, if you like about it. For example, you know, I love my hometown or I love this city but I still miss my hometown. So sometimes I miss my hometown. Of course, I love the city that I, for example, live now, but you know, sometimes I miss. So you can say something like this, okay? And you can say it's small town or big town. So you can say something like this, okay? This is the first question. Now, I want to ask you the next question. Is your hometown a big city or a small place?
My hometown is a small city. It's not really doing much facility as the city I'm living in right now, but they still managed to have like big shopping mall, and they have many beaches. So many people and tourists choose to come back to my hometown and having like a little rest for 1 or 2 days as they're going out the city.
Yeah, very good. Okay, yeah, of course, very good. So it was a good answer. So not as much facility that you have, the city that you live, but of course some beaches. So it can be a tourist attraction, yeah.
Yeah.
And as I realize, you know, it's a small city with a cozy atmosphere. Okay, so as I understood, so it's a small city with a cozy atmosphere. So actually, and you can say, but you know, just don't exceed time limit because, you know, if you exceed, maybe the examiner interrupt you, so or you won't have enough time to answer the rest of questions. So that was really good answer. So you can talk about it. But you know, when you talk about, let me say something. For example, you are talking about your hometown, the size of it. Of course, because you will be asked not the questions related to facilities and what you like about it, what don't you like. So just, you know, focus on the topic and the question. So you're talking about, okay, for example, you can say, yeah, it's small, medium size, a small city with a cozy atmosphere and a population of, you know, somewhere in, for example, between, I don't know, 70,000 people, something like this, or for example, and not too many people live there. So something like this. Okay, so focus and try to make your answer related to the question, because in part 1 you will be asked some questions step by step related to the first topic that you are asked. Okay, now how often do you visit your hometown?
Well, when I was in middle school, I usually come back to my hometown like once a month or 2 months. But since I got into high school and me and also my parents got a lot of things to do, so we didn't come back to high school since then. It's been 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been 2 or 3 years now. Very good. Okay, so you can say, uh, for example, at least, so you normally, actually, it's something like occasionally, I think you visit your hometown, maybe at least, I don't know, once a year or twice a year, so you can say something like this, but not because you actually, since 3 years ago, because you've been lots of things to do, of course, there was no chance to visit. Okay, so, and you can say if there is any event or occasion that you visit your hometown or no, but that was good answer. Now let me ask another question that is related to your second answer. Okay, please tell me about your hometown. What's your hometown like? Now you can talk about it, about beaches, about views.
My hometown is not a big city, but I think the sightseeing is still been pretty much things, and they have started to have many buildings and shopping malls, and they're also upgrading the beaches so that many tourists can go to. I think it's been changing pretty much since I come back then to now, but it's still a beautiful beach city in my opinion.
Okay, very good. So it's beautiful coastal city. Beautiful coastal city, so not beach city. We say consists of different beaches. Okay, so and so it's something like, do you, okay, just it's, is it lively or monotonous, boring? So for example, when you go to the street, you can see a lively city or no?
Well, for me, it's not pretty much a lively city because, well, the population of the city is not too much, and also everything is going like normal, just happen normal for all the way. So as a cities, um, like as I'm living in big cities now, I think it's pretty much a boring where you just come there for like 1 or 2 days for relaxing or something.
Yeah, of course, very good. So it's a bit monotonous. So because lack of maybe crowd, so there is no hustle and bustle. So hustle and bustle. So we normally use it because it's really good phrase. Hustle and bustle means crowd and noise. So there is no hustle and bustle in my hometown. So it can be considered a bit monotonous, because for example, we say that some people like to live in big cities because of hustle and bustle, noise and crowd. For example, New York, the city, but some people would rather, get away from this hustle and bustle to move to countryside to live in calm and peace. So hustle and bustle means crowd and noise. It's good and usable phrase that you can use when talking about places. Okay. Well, and let's keep going with the next question. Just I want to know that is it modern? Your hometown is modern or traditional?
I think it's mixed between traditional and modern, because of many, it's become a tourist attraction places. So they need to upgrade a lot of buildings and facilities. So they still have some things that traditional at my cities, but there's still like modern buildings and you know tourist places around the city.
Yeah,
So
very. So, okay. So, first of all, tourist attraction. So the first thing, of course, there are different words that you can use. I will tell you when speak about traveling. So tourist attraction, the first thing. Okay, so tourist attractions. So you mean the word that you need to use here, but I think you said both. So your actually hometown, actually, it can be a place to live, and it offers both modern amenities. I'm typing, but no. Here, because of this, I couldn't see. Okay, let me. Amenities and, for example, traditional charm. So what it means. So there's what is the meaning of amenity? Of course, I wrote amenities because I'm, using plural. So because of this, I say amenities, but this is amenity ends in Y. So what is this? Actually, any feature, anything that provides comfort, convenience, or pleasure is something like amusing. Something like, for example, swimming pool. For example, I don't know, fireplace at home. So it's something like this. So everything, it can be at home or, for example, different places. So anything that provide comfort, convenience, and pleasure is amenity. So it can be, for example, a swimming pool, or, for example, it can be some, I don't know, at home, something that makes you feel comfort, like this, or convenient, or comfortable, something like this. Okay, so it offers both modern amenities and traditional charm. So it has something like traditional attractive places, attractions. So at the same time, we have some modern facilities, amenities. Okay. Wow. Okay, and the next question for you. Okay, well, how long have you been actually, of course, no, you moved, so let's change this question. So you moved, so let me change this question. Okay, tell me, do you like your hometown? If yes, what do you like about it? What do you like most about your hometown?
I do like my hometown. I like the beaches there because it's bring me back a lot of memories in my childhood time. Because I usually live with my grandparents in my hometown, and they usually get me to the beach every weekend, and we just play around, and there's a lot of good memories with them. And because I didn't visit my grandparents recently, so like when I look back to my hometown, I usually miss them. Yeah.
Very good. And is there anything that you dislike about your hometown?
Well, I just think it's a little bit boring for me now. But I didn't come back it recently, so I didn't know if I could have like changes about my expected in my hometown. Like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So just it's better to use, as I told you, better to use some boring is good. Okay, of course, it's really good, but we want to boost our score, Niall. So it's better to use another. For example, actually, I don't like this monotonous rhythm of life, because it's boring. So there is no big change. Or you can say something like this, or it's a bit tedious. It's a bit tedious. So I don't know, lifeless. So they are the words that you can use. So not only boring, because when you say boring, it's okay, but here is a difference between a person who can get, for example, band 6.5 and the person who can get 8.5 or 8. So, some words, collocations and idioms. So we're trying to learn some idioms, okay, and some new words to be used, okay. Well, and well, let me ask you another question. So the time is good now. Okay. Has your hometown changed since you were a child?
I don't think my hometown changed when I was a child, because at that time there wasn't like, I don't think it's like trends when people start to going travel. I just go and enjoy a little rest and just relaxing. So there's nothing much to change. Like now when like they usually have much things to satisfying people, like big changes. It's just like a normal cities as I remember.
Yeah, okay. Uh, so you can say, yeah, my hometown, you can say, no, actually, my hometown hasn't undergone significant changes since my childhood, because you want to say that there was no big change. So how to say this, that actually would be better. So let me write it here. Okay. Okay, so you can say actually, literally, no. For example, my hometown. Okay, now this word hasn't, of course, you can say in affirmative and say has, okay, undergone significant changes since my childhood. Okay, so actually you can say, I don't know, not new buildings and something like there is no big change here. And for example, the same actually transport and there is no big transformation. So you can say the transformation, the change, transformation over the years. Actually, I visited my hometown has been or hasn't been here because there is no hasn't been, for example, remarkable or noticeable. There's no big change. So these two sentences are actually the sentences that you can replace to improve your answer. So no, my hometown hasn't undergone significant or important changes since my childhood. I think, every time that I visit my hometown, I can't get any big change. So I think the transformation over the years hasn't been remarkable or noticeable. Maybe some small, touches like, I don't know, some new buildings or something like this. Okay?
Okay.
Well, just if there is anything, any part, any word that you can't get and you need me to explain, just ask me. So about these two answers, is there anything that you didn't get? You need me to actually talk about it?
No.
Okay, very good. Well, just let me say something. Your answers are very good. So I can say that you can get a good score in ice speaking. That's really good because of something. In speaking section, we normally assess some different factors like, for example, vocabulary resource, grammar range, accuracy, or pronunciation. So we assessed all these items. About you have a good, actually, an enough. That is vocabulary resources, but there is something. Now we need to add some idioms, some maybe idiomatic phrases, some collocations, some phrasal verbs in order to make it better. Okay, but you're perfect in speaking. I really like when you answer the question, especially your accent is perfect, very good. Okay. Well, and are there any changes you would like to make in your hometown?
Well, I want to change the beaches because as it becoming a place where people coming at the weekend, but there's too many trash on the beach and it's not a perfect view in places where piece of glass can get stuck on your feet. So I want to put in much less trash and make it a better place where people can also enjoy and having fun.
Yeah, very good. Of course, very good. Well, okay, now let's learn some, okay, for this part, let's learn some words, okay, that help you to actually maybe get band 8 or some maybe 9. Niles speaking part 1. Okay, so as I told you, the first word was cozy. You know the meaning of this word? Cozy means comfortable. So cozy means
Comfortable.
warm. Yeah.
Or
And warm. For example, normally, you see actually a fireplace, small house, something like yellow light. So it's cozy, comfortable. You feel warm, you feel comfortable. Okay. So, for example, when you go to a coffee shop, you normally, would rather sit in a cozy corner, just like calm, quiet, warm, and drink your coffee. Okay. And the second word, when you want to say attractive, you can say captivating. Okay. For example, my hometown has the captivating sunset or sunrise because of, for example, the sea. Over the sea, you can see the sunrise, you can see the sunset. So it's really attractive. So captivating is attracting and holding attention, or interest. You're really interested in watching. So for example, the captivating beaches, or for example, the captivating, for example, mountain, the captivating, I don't know, scenery or something like the sunset. So you can say, okay. And the next one, when you want to talk about food, for example, you want to say that we have some cuisine, like some food meals are really interesting, delicious. I'm sorry, center, delicious, and something like highly pleasing to taste. So we can say it's delectable. So delectable is a good word to say delicious, okay? So especially when you're talking about your hometown, maybe you want to mention cuisine, so you can local cuisine, so you can say, you know, delectable cuisine is another point that I can mention about my hometown. And when you live in actually a small town, Alex, people normally are friendly. Do you agree? For example, I think in your hometown, people should be more friendly than large cities. Do you agree?
Yeah.
For example, they are generous. You know, they give everything that they have. So we say that hospitality, people hospitality. It means, you know, the friendly and generous, you know, treatment. You know, for of normally of a guest or a stranger. For example, you go there and you are a guest, you are, for example, stranger, and people are really friendly, they're really generous. So hospitality, you know, the warm hospitality of people, you know, it's something good. For example, you go to a hotel, you want to stay, and of course, there are some people who work at a hotel staff. You can say, you know, I really liked the warm hospitality of the hotel staff. Actually, it made our stay memorable. Memorable. Something that you all the time remember is memorable. So warm hospitality. Okay. Well, so another word that is occasional, let me, okay. So, occasional means happening or occurring. So, at irregular intervals. What it means. For example, my parents visit me in the city only on occasional weekends, not every weekend. You know, when something important, you know, some special, not regularly, occasional weekends. Or for example, we visit our hometown occasionally in some, for example, occasional events, or for example, weekends. Okay, so something like this. Well, and another word, let me think about it. Remarkable, I told you, noticeable. So, and when you want to talk about transport, traveling, you know, for example, regularly between one place to another place, you can say commuting. For example, instead of saying, my hometown is not really crowded, so it's easy to, for example, go to school and get home or go back home. So instead of saying go and go back, it's easy to commute. So the act of traveling regularly between one's place, okay, of residence, where you live, where you, for example, work or study, for example, between home and school. So this is commute. You do it every day. So for example, we have a new subway line. Actually, now it's really easy to, daily commute from home to school. So this is another word, okay? Any questions?
No.
Good, okay. Well, and now, okay, so okay. Now your accommodation. Accommodation means place you live, your home. So let me ask another question, okay? Where are you living now?
Now I'm living in Ho Chi Minh City. I live in District 7. And I think this is pretty much a great district where everything is like in a good
So,
okay.
yeah, that was good. Okay, so yeah, actually I'm asking about, because I'm asking about accommodation. So where, maybe what kind of property? Do you live in apartment or house or I don't know, bungalow or what?
I think I live in like 4-level house. I don't know how to say it. Like,
So explain it so that I can help you. Explain it. It's a house or apartment, first of all.
oh, it's a house.
It's a house, okay. And what do you have around your house? So you have something like just green, like yard and garden and green place, green space, or no? You have another neighbor.
Oh, I have another neighbor.
Okay, now let me ask you, two neighbors, for example, let me show you something because they have different names. Okay, look, this is, I'm sorry because of my drawing, but
Yeah.
this is your house. Okay, let me, okay. And here you have, for example, green space. Now you have, okay, another neighbor here and another one here. So like this, or no, just one of them like this. Or no.
It's
Just
like
you, for example, let's remove this. For example, this one, this neighbor is not here like this. You live here, yeah, like this. And you have your,
well,
so help me to draw your,
oh yeah, it's just like house stuck together, and there was a common road to get into like different house. How can I say, like,
yeah.
there was a way into like a small like ground, and there like then many places inside.
Okay, to small garden. Okay, so you have garden, yo. So I got it. Okay, just I want to know, for example, uh, I want to know if you have another neighbor next to your house or no.
Yeah, I have neighbors next to my house.
Okay, so if you have, there are different, actually, different parts. Normally, we say detached. Detached house or home means a building that doesn't share walls with other house. So you don't share, look, you don't share, you don't share any walls with neighbors. So this is detached. I want to say this. Detached house. Okay? But if you share one, for example, you have a neighbor here like this. This is semi-detached. Now your house is detached or semi-detached?
I think it's semi-detached.
Semi-detached, very good. So you can say that now it's easy. You can say, my home, for example, is a semi-detached house. Okay, surrounding with, for example, what is this? Okay, surrounding with, for example, the green spaces, okay, or garden. But when you say surrounding, it's really important. So normally detached, if your house surrounded by, something like green space, or you have garden around your house, it means you don't share any walls. So it's really important. It is detached. But, actually, we have green space, and you can say something like this. Okay. So this is the first question. Okay. And how long have you lived there?
I have lived here for about 8 months now, because I just changed from a apartment to this house because my parents want to have more space into our house, so like their friends and work business things could be more easily for them.
Very good. The first thing about your answers, something that you shouldn't do and something that you should do. The first thing about actually our speaking that I need to talk about it, is to paraphrase what it means. When I ask you how long have you lived there, you don't answer with I have lived. You need to change it. For example, you want to say that I have lived, for example, there about, for instance, 8 months ago. You say I moved. I moved in, for example, 8 months ago. Because when you repeat my question, it means that, you don't have enough vocabulary to change, to answer. So it should, we are is not good because he can't change, he can't paraphrase. So that's really important. Anytime that examiner or someone asks you a question, try to paraphrase it. You want to repeat, but not the same words. I moved in, so I moved in 8 months ago. Then after that, you can say, yeah, and I think, I've been living for about 8 months here. So you can say that, but at beginning, no, don't repeat it, okay? Well, so let's keep going. And do you plan to live there for a long time?
Um, yes, I do, because it's near my grandparents' house, so I think my parents won't like changing house for the rest of like the time now, and I also decided to go to study abroad. So if the moving places, I won't be able to notice much, even just till I come back to my home. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. And is there anything about your house you would like to change?
Oh, I think it's already being a modern house with everything. So we have karaoke place and just we have a yard and like a coffee table. So I think everything has been pretty much
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, so let me ask another question. So, actually, when I say, you can say yes or no, the first thing, but yes and no. Yes, I think so. Not really. So, I have thought. Would you like, I have thought about doing some adding, changing, or something like this. So I have thought is a really good phrase to begin. For example, I want to say that, not really, but I have thought about doing, I don't know, something like a left conversion to give me another bedroom, maybe for when friends come to stay, but that's all, not more. Okay, so something like this. So if you have thought about something, you can say, I have thought about this. For example, we can add extension, add a part to our home or something like this. So we can say, add extension, add, a part like a room, a new part to a house. So like this. Okay, well, and let me ask you my last question. What is the difference between where you live now and your last home?
We moved from a flat into a semi-detached house. So the first thing is that we have different floor. I think, yeah, it's not everything in one places anymore, and I need to like come upstairs or downstairs to get what I want. But I think my home now is like pretty much we have more places to do, and everything is just bigger, and there's much places for me to study and talking with other members in my house. Yeah.
Very good. So, uh, floor, story, the other word, one story, one floor, two stories apartment, two floors. Okay, so you can say, I used to live. I used to live. Used to is good word. I used to live in an apartment. Actually, it had wonderful view. It had good view, but no garden because it was, but no garden. Now, actually, I have a large lawn. So I have a large lawn, green space, and something like, for example, semi-detached or, for example, detached house, and I can sit in the sun. And for example, I'm very happy to have a garden again. So you can say something like this. And so green place. And so you can say something like this. You need to talk about the difference, physically, the difference between actually something like old and new one. So you say, for example, yeah, it has garden, it has, for example, it didn't have, or something like this. And you can talk about something like, for example, how you feel about it. Now I feel more comfortable and more happy, because I can sit in the sun and I have a chance to have a garden, and something like this. Okay. And let me think about the other word. Okay. So let me think if I have another new. Okay. So, well, and of course, I will give you some more words because, we have part 2 and part 3 about this topic. So I will give you more words and phrases. And I try to do something. I will send you some words and the meaning of them that can be useful for IELTS on Skype, so that anytime you can check them and you can study. So every time this can be your something like assignment, homework. So you can check the words and phrases that I send for you, and just, next session, if you have any questions, you can ask, okay? Well, okay, so any questions, any issues so far?
No.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for being perfect when speaking. It was really good. And I believe that you can get a really high score in IELTS, especially speaking. So just keep going the same way. Okay, my dear Alex, have a great day and see you next session.
Yeah, see you again.
Of course, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.